Hey Wonder Crew, it is Mike here and we have finally made it to Tokyo, Japan. We are here in the famous Shibuya Scramble and I gotta tell you, I am already scrambled. We have been here for about 48 hours and I've already made many of the mistakes that many tourists make, and I'm sure I'm gonna make many more in the next 7 days. But you know what? There's only one way to find out, and that's by coming along. Before 4 in the morning, and you know what I've realized is the first thing, my first thought is whenever you see a documentary, spare a thought for the camera guy. Because whenever you see a video of a family or a person waking up, getting out of their thing, that means that somebody, some poor camera guy, had to wake up first. Morning, Artemis.
Hello.
Hey Wonder Crew, it's Mike here, and the crew and I are finally on the way to Japan. I, of course, I'm right in the middle of making my first mistake, not paying enough attention to flight times and when we'd actually have to leave. It's not that we were late, but 4 a.m. is really early for all of us, and considering the length of day, well, actually the length of days we were about to have, I probably could have chosen a better first flight time. But hey, no use crying over spilt milk. We've got our next continent to get to. Welcome to Japan. Do you think they're like really taking on their anime and video game kinda? One thing I wasn't expecting was having to go through immigration individually. I'm used to walking up to the officer as a family, but here each of us had to go through the process separately, even the kids. Now, it wasn't difficult, but it was one of those little things I wish I'd known before we arrived. So, have everyone's passports and entry information ready, and make sure the kids know what's happening before you get to the front. Anyway, with immigration behind us, it was time to figure out Tokyo's transit system. But apparently, there was one important stop we had to make first. If you're coming to Japan, get ready to spend a surprising amount of time with the fine folks at Lawson, Family Mart, and 7-Eleven. We'd been told that Japanese Konbini food and snacks were way better than convenience store food had any right to be. And this was our first chance to put that to the test. We were not disappointed.
Match. Machomp.
Anyway, back to getting us from the airport to Tokyo. And if it's your first time in a Japanese train station, I just have one piece of advice for you. See, you follow the signs. The well-marked signs. The so many signs. All the signs, follow the signs. This was our first train ride in Japan, and definitely not our last. If you're coming to Japan, get comfortable with trains because you are going to spend a lot of time on them. Luckily, they're clean, comfortable, and almost unnervingly punctual, unlike a certain big Apple-themed city I could mention. Sitting on the train is also a great time to check your travel app and make sure everything's perfect. We planned ours using the TWC Ultimate Travel Planning app, which you can get at app.thewondercrew.org. Eventually, we made it to the Hanabi Hotel, where we got our first experience with tatami floors and sleeping mats. And after getting up at 4 in the morning, crossing the Pacific, clearing immigration, and figuring out our first Japanese trains, of course, I made the wise decision to call it a day.
Hey, Wonder Crew, it's here. We are finally in Japan in the famous Shibuya crossing, and we're about to check out some pretty cool things, see some pretty cool things, have some amazing, new, interesting foods. So come with us to check everything out.
Yeah, you knew we didn't stop at the hotel. I've still got plenty of first-timer mistakes left to make, and the next one was pushing through the fatigue because there was no way we were coming all the way to Tokyo and skipping Shibuya in our first night.
Big camera.
Jacob, I saw fireworks. Jacob!
You know what that means?
Shibuya has the same giant screens, lights and crowds energy as Times Square, and of course, we had to try the famous Scramble crossing. But by this point, we were all exhausted, and there was really only one thing that was gonna convince my anime-obsessed kids that dragging them back out of the hotel had been worth it.
I know. Just breathe it in.
I'm so hungry, but I'm gonna go look at this entire freaking floor if we stay here.
Is that JoJo's or am I tripping balls?
Yeah, it's JoJo's. That's JoJo's.
It is!
Is that something JoJo's?
It's Hatsune Miku. Wow.
I made my kids very happy. Just remember.
If you're not an anime person, this is the JOJO World, the world's first official experiential store dedicated to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And the timing was pretty perfect. JoJo was having another big moment with the new Steel Ball Run anime on Netflix, and the kids are huge fans. And with the excitement of JoJo's over, we had just one last problem to solve. See, in all the excitement, we had all forgotten about our quest for food.
Well, that was a good roundabout to get to where we basically were.
And that is how we ended up flying halfway across the planet for our first night in Japan. And we ended up eating Mexican food. By this point, we were so tired and indecisive that it really wasn't about finding the perfect meal in Japan anymore. It was about finding the first place that all four of us could agree on. And honestly, sometimes that's travel. Not every meal is going to be some perfect cultural experience. Sometimes everybody's exhausted, everybody's hungry, and you just need to feed the kids. Eventually, we finally made the sensible decision we probably should have made a few hours earlier and headed back to the hotel. And within 5 minutes, everyone was out. Everyone except for the cameraman. So, spare a thought for the cameraman. Join us in the next video where we get one of these get lost in here, spend some time with this big guy, and ride one of these for the very first time. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our Japan and China series. Until next time, keep exploring.